welcome to producers and directors Amanda Kopp and Aaron Kopp. The animation in this film is just absolutely stunning. So please welcome Art Director Shofela Coker. And finally, but certainly not least, executive producer Thandie Newton.
Let's keep that going for that extraordinary film. Visually stunning, the narrative, the story, within the story, within the story, so powerful, so powerful. Let's talk about Swaziland. Who wants to talk about that nation and what it's all about?
I guess that's probably me. Well, I had the privilege of growing up there. It's an extraordinary small country, very proud, interesting, lovely people. Sort of an enchanting place to have a childhood. I spent much of my childhood exploring the hills and so on. So in a lot of ways, it's almost kind of like feels like my sort of version of my childhood relived in a way. But it's a complicated place, you know. I mean, it has had a lot of difficulty with AIDS and HIV and so on, which of course is part of the backdrop of this film. But what transcends, I think, what the narrative that really speaks to the broadest group of people is that sort of universal desire that all Swazis have and all of us have, which I think these kids embody beautifully, which is that desire to write our own story. And I think that it's just. These particular kids, you know, they don't represent all of Swaziland, of course. It's a very diverse country, even though it's so small. But I think they represent it with some good style.
They represent so many more children than just the children of Swaziland. They are children, and they represent children with dreams and hopes and aspirations. These particular children have suffered greatly, all kinds of deep losses. Can you talk a little bit about that? What these children have gone through that have brought them to the place that they are this century?
Yeah, they've been through things that no child should have to go through. And as we did interviews with them and they started to tell us about some of their memories from their past, we realized that we needed to make this film differently than we had set out to. Originally, I think we thought we would make a more traditional documentary, and we found that we did not want the children sharing such intimate things in such a public way. We thought about if that was our kid, we wouldn't want to just ask them about the worst thing that's happened to them and have it projected out to the world. So we realized we needed a safer place for them to explore some of the things that happened to them. And that's when we decided about the fictional character. And once we knew there was going to be a fictional storyline, that's when we brought on Shofela, the storyteller, and she came in to do the workshop. One of the things that's most amazing about this film to me, mostly boys. These were mostly boys. Yet they chose a girl to be their hero, which makes you faith in boys, because faith in boys has been a little tough lately. Talk a little bit about that, how they came to make that choice, and what you think drove them to make that character female. Pumlani, the five of them got to come to Los Angeles for the world premiere at the LA Film Festival, and when the audience asked them the question, why mostly boys did you choose a girl for this character, he said, I think quite beautifully, that most of the struggles in Africa are faced by women, so it makes sense that if they're coming up with a character who has to overcome obstacles, that she would be female. And I think that they have such amazing examples around them of strong female leaders taking care of them and doing the work that needs to get done.
amazing insight too for children so small, that they can see what's going on. The stories are very powerful, some of them dark, but ultimately heroic. Crafting the story, can you talk about how they went about crafting some of these stories?
Yeah, well, you've worked with Miss Mkyobi before, but she's a master storyteller, and she has an amazing way of kind of balancing the kids, the sort of the freedom and the expression of their ideas with structure. So she presented them this kind of step by step, presenting them challenges along the way, helping them, propel this character forward, and just allow them to, bring all their, craziness to the story. And she did a really lovely job of sort of allowing the narrative to expand and then, bringing it back together again very, very gracefully. She was really instrumental in that.
And she also has a really, really sensitive touch with children who've been through trauma. I worked with her a number of years before we all met, and it was at Oprah Winfrey's Leadership Academy in Johannesburg. And the kids that go to that school have similarly been through, really very, very difficult childhoods. And she's, through her work, she's become an art therapist. I feel like, she understands how important it is for these children to touch the darker things that have gone in their lives, but by creating, by allowing them to be threaded into a story, they control the darkness, and they can literally, eject it into another place through the stories that they tell. And she does it so, it's become effortless, but she's been doing this for a very long time, all over Africa.
There's this amazing quality that she had where, at least to my mind, she never ever seemed to say no.
She's a good student of theater, you never say no.
Yeah, and it was always yes and yes and yes and shaping and pushing. And then there's that animation, that extraordinary animation. Why animation exactly? And then a little bit about that style and the design that you worked with. But why animation?
Well, the animation was just a way for us to, I think, meet the kids in fiction. It was a way for us to take this thing that they've created and try to collaborate with them, to sort of to take all these amazing ideas and just meet them out there in the world of story. And we didn't know what that was going to look like. We wanted it to be just beautiful, and we wanted to create LIYANA as being just like as gorgeous as she ought to be, and as the kids imagined her to be. And it took us a long time to get it figured out, how we would do that, or with whom we would do that. We searched for years, actually, 2 or 3 years at least, before we found this fine fellow. And we saw his work, we read an interview with him, and he just spoke so beautifully about telling African stories that are beautiful and telling very distinctly African stories and representing his characters with such beauty. So he lives in San Diego. We just flew to San Diego and told him to quit his job and come work for us. Asked him to come to quit his job, and I think he can speak much more eloquently about the sort of the way that we chose to do it.
That was the narrative that drove your design, or did you have ideas about what you thought it should look like even before you came to the narrative?
Well, thank you first for saying how much you enjoyed the animation and the film. Well, it's a very unique project, and I think that's what interested me in the first place. Was that as a young artist, and I quit my job readily because it was just a dream, really. I have an imperative as an African. I grew up in Lagos, Nigeria, so this is sort of a project that I've been thinking about, or hoping for, I should say, for a long time. And being a young artist, like I said, you want to take on a project with this kind of sort of social responsibility, and not even just that, but sort of freedom as an artist to produce something that you think lives in your head, but you've never been given the chance to produce, basically. But with this project in particular, I think I've never felt more like a translator, actually, a visual translator, because it really was nothing about ego. It was all about what I felt and we felt as a team we needed to actually show these kids sort of giving shape to the world, right? We needed to actually produce work that actually looked like it was not only sort of enchanting and beautiful, but really mesmerizing and really captured the poetry of what they were saying and what they were actually evoking on the screen, right? So it was a very tricky process to try and sort of marry the two and get that back and forth right, because it is a relationship, right, with the live action and the animation, and that dynamic was ultimately the most important aspect of the film for me.
Some of the darker aspects of what the character goes through. Talk a little bit about how you decided to craft those moments so that they have the intensity that they had to carry to represent the reality that some of these children had experienced. Because what they were really talking about was things that they had experienced themselves or their family had experienced. And I imagine it had a certain weight for them, but you didn't want it to be, I imagine, you didn't want it to be salacious. Talk about that balance of getting that exactly right. It is exactly right.
Well, first of all, I'll just say that Shof is so skilled with faces and expressions and emotions in his characters, and that's just a huge part of what drew us to him. He's masterful.
And much of the story is told through those expressions. I mean, so anyway, yeah. How do you measure all of that out? Exactly how dark will we go? What will we show? What will we not show? And what will we simply allow the children to say?
Well, I think we really did let the kids drive the narrative, and all the way throughout the whole process was just the sort of thing sitting on our shoulder was just making a film that the kids would be proud to watch amongst their peers. And there have been many films made about Africa that no African would be proud to watch. I mean, by people who look like us making films in Africa who just sort of profit in a way from the sort of difficult things that African people have to deal with in some cases. And so we just wanted to make a film that was true to the nuance, to some of the nuances in African stories that often are neglected, which, yes, do involve these difficulties, but that we should just be respectful in the way that we carry them. And that, I guess, knowing that the kids would watch the film with their peers and with Swazis of all ages would watch the film, that was the thing that kept us, I think, in check throughout the process, just wanting to make sure that it would be edifying to them. And I don't know if you want to talk about the kids it's like Swazi culture, right? There are certain things that you always have to stop just short of saying. And when you speak to Swazi, you have to be very careful about what you say and don't say. And I think that sort of just being cautious and reserved in what we showed, and just making sure that we weren't making something that they would be ever ashamed of.
Can I ask you a question, Aaron? You told me a really cool thing when we were doing some press before, that LIYANA, the girl, was a real girl.
Yes.
In Swaziland. Did the kids meet her?
Oh yeah, they know her. Yeah. So
I just love the idea that there's a real girl, and would pictures sent to?
Oh yeah,
She was
that's
the
what
original
Shof
model.
said.
Yeah. So would she sit for you in still life? In a live.
No, that would have been amazing.
Right. So like photos.
It was
Yeah, we
That's
took
amazing.
lots and lots of photos. Her name is Nosipo, and she is just the way her body is just so beautiful. She's just like crazy kind of feline grace, and she's so stunning, kind of like you. And so we bravo.
Nice mum, Dad.
Yeah, so she's younger than the kids who were in the film, so she was kind of like just happened to be at the right age, and she's been a muse of Amanda. Amanda's also a photographer, and she just takes lots and lots of pictures of this young woman, and so yeah, she was our muse for LIYANA. She just sort of became LIYANA in a way, and yeah, we inundated with Shof with pictures.
Did she love the movie? She must have.
She did, yeah. She's an exceptional young woman. And yeah, she was actually with us in Swaziland just recently doing poetry workshops with other school kids, and she was just leading with such grace and beauty. She's really cool. I think we might make another film with her, actually.
Hopes, aspirations, and dreams are a big part of what's going on. These kids all have dreams and hopes and aspirations, and they're represented very beautifully. They talk a little bit about that, making sure that the audience who sees this movie can see that in these kids, that they want things just like all other children everywhere, despite what they've gone through.
Well, I would just say that I think the fact that to show African children having hopes and dreams, and that the fact that that's in any way remarkable is a sad statement about all of the stories that have been told about Africa for so long, and or just kids who are, quote, underserved or whatever, kids who don't have as much as, our kids have gotten the short end of the stick in more ways than one, a lot from us storytellers. And I think that it's just about, for us during this process, we had known the kids for a very long time before we started filming, and I think that trust and that they knew that we believed in them and we wanted to hang out again and again over and over for years. I think that relationship allowed all those things which were there. By no means did we create all of that. We just built up a little bit of trust and opened the door, and they were off and running.
I think, honestly, LIYANA is probably the most inspiring film I've ever seen. Just what we were talking about, the hopes that these kids have. Where they start, they've lost their parents to AIDS, to their communities, their society is ravaged, is so challenged, and yet they say in this movie, I'm going to write my own story, because you would think that for these kids, their story's done. Like, wouldn't you? Like, to have gone through that, and it's like it's over. All hope has died, all innocence lost, and yet you see them saying, hold on to hope, to us. The fact that these kids are actually saying, I want to share this with everybody in the world. I mean, he says it, hold on to hope. I mean, I was a mess when they were saying hold on to hope. These kids can still, they can just be so alive to possibilities and tomorrow, and just how inspiring that is for everybody in any situation. That there is hope around the corner. No matter what you're bummed out about, you just think about LIYANA and these children, and you just want to keep going. For them, for yourself, just for life. It's deeply moving and inspiring. It really is.
I think that there's sort of a poetic justice in the fact that these young African kids who have, not had a voice for so long, now have such wisdom, I think, to impart to Americans at this sort of unique time in our history. About holding on to hope and persevering and making sure that we are the authors of our own story. I think that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
It has to be reconsidered on election day in a totally different way. They'll come down. Okay. Let's ask some questions while you're down break.
And just real quick, I want to make sure that we say thank you so much to IDA for having us here. And thank you to Abigail Disney for making tonight possible. And a shout out to Mobile Mamba.
Oh yes, stand up.
She
Where are you?
is the primary.
Stand up.
She's the primary vocalist for the music.
She's the best. We went to the same high school together, and not at the same time. She's a bit younger than I am. But yeah, she's the voice of LIYANA in the film that you hear singing.
The choice not to use dialogue, talk a little bit about that, and the children are telling the story anyway, so I suppose you didn't need it, but still a very particular thing.
Yeah, well, the way the kids speak is so delicious, and like their sort of gesticulations, and it's just, we couldn't approximate that, like we knew that it was about their voices. And they had to be the ones to tell the story, from beginning to end.
And you guys support the visual.
Yeah, it was about us just kind of passing the mic, using our privilege to pass the mic, and making sure that they were still the center of the story.
Although isn't LIYANA going to be like a book now?
Yes.
She's having her own journey.
Yeah.
Is it a book, a cartoon? What's the form?
Graphic novel.
Graphic novel, yeah.
Yeah, it's in the works.
Or are you going to perhaps follow up? Because you document a master teacher in addition to everything else. And we don't, in that profession, often see that played out that well, that beautifully, that exactly, with the results. So I'm just wondering if once you've had all the great glory of it, if that can be a follow-up of how it is taught to to, certainly not release, but to anyone who is in a position to receive, and that's a perfect example of it. You understand, it's not really a question, it's just saying to you, could you consider that? Before it's all done.
She is a master teacher, and that was what was going on there. That process of her opening up and educating those kids and receiving a lot from them too. It's kind of absorbing.
Yeah, well, she is a master storyteller, and that is, of the same family as a good teacher, right?
She
But
doesn't just speak to develop language, American teachers don't have that kind of luck for various reasons. But there she does it. They draw, they sing,
oh, they're having difficulty hearing you. She's just talking about how extraordinary this teacher was that she was able to sort of elicit. I'm probably going to misquote you, but just sort of elicit these voices from the kids and listen and do such a good job, and that, in some cases in America.
We're struggling with education, you see, in this country, don't you think? And here we see documented a master teacher. So I say, I wonder if they have any consideration of developing that.
We do, yes, actually. We are going forward. We're going to be doing a lot of community screenings, so bringing the film into communities, regardless of their sort of profit potential. So schools, prisons, community centers all over the country, both here and in Southern Africa, particularly in Southern Africa, making sure that it gets into rural communities and all that, and developing curriculum and storytelling workshops and so on and so forth around the film, so that the film can be used by educators, sort of inspiring both those who work with kids and then the kids themselves. So yeah, we've got several different partners kind of in the mix, and we look forward to using it extensively.
And there's a way of discovering that going online, isn't there, to follow what,
Thank you.
if you go to the website of the movie.
LIYANA.com.
Yeah, you can follow, the larger sort of outreach of what the film
The
is.
movements.
Because there is a process that's documented there. Another question? Sure.
So the stories that the children told were so candid and so personal to each of them. Were there any moments where that shocked you and caused you to take some pause as to whether or not you wanted to include those into the overall picture?
Do you want to say it so everyone can hear you?
Sure. Go ahead.
The stories that the children told were so powerful and moving and very candid. And I just wanted to know, were there any moments that, as they were telling their stories to you, that you took pause and you said, is this a little too close, or is this something we want to include into the greater story?
Well, I think it's a very good question, and I think that gets to the heart of why we made the film this way, which is that we, I think originally, as Amanda alluded to earlier, set out to, I think, make a more conventional film, which is, asking the kids to talk about their stories and so on, but they very quickly revealed stuff that, was just, if they were my own kids, I wouldn't want that to be on screen. So the way for us to do that was to leave it in fiction. We talked to several child psychologists and folks who work with kids, who have similar backgrounds, and they just encouraged us to just leave it in fiction. The kids can say whatever they want about the fictional character, and then just never try to, pin it down in a way that a real therapist would. It can be therapeutic, but it can't be therapy. And as long as we just leave it in fiction and don't ask the kids to talk too much about their personal experience in front of everyone, which I think is just a common courtesy.
So they're always protected, really.
Yeah, so the character becomes this sort of veil, right, where you never know exactly what they're saying, whether it's a
Or
personal
who's
experience.
experienced what.
Yeah, it may be a friend, it may be someone I know, it may be their personal experience, and you'll never know.
Let's take one more question back. Yes, ma'am.
How would you divide up what child would say what parts, or did each child tell the whole story and then you decide afterwards?
So the question is, how do we divide up what kids said what? They sort of figured that out for us. They all sort of had their own storytelling specialty in a way. Super Suso would just churn out ideas a million miles a minute, and so then we would present those ideas to the other kids, and they would kind of embellish them, in their own way. But that was a part of the editing process. Each of the kids kind of happened to be interested in certain scenes and certain kinds of emotions and actions and so And that was really just the editing process, is taking these different versions of each scene and weaving them together in the most compelling way.
I wish we had more time. There will be a little reception downstairs after this. I'm sure